Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. I have a really exciting one for you today. Recently I did a video looking at RTutor.ai that was using the ChatGPT engine to create R code, and now someone has created GPT Studio. So GPT Studio brings that ChatGPT power straight into RStudio for you. I will link up to their GitHub site so you can access this information and have a go yourself. If we come down, there's a few instructions that we need to follow. So you need to have an OpenAI account. This is free. I've just been working with the free one. Go to OpenAI. You can just, if you have a Google account, you can even just single sign on with Google, hitting sign in with Google. Otherwise, create an account. Then follow this link to the page where you generate API keys. You will need to generate an API key, and this is the way that RStudio is going to be able to talk to the OpenAI system so that it can run the code. Once you've got that key, make sure you save it somewhere. In R, you are going to need to provide RStudio with that key. You can either do that with this line of code, where API key will be the key that you have generated, or you can do it by putting it in the R environ file, and there is the code here in order to do that. Either of these will work. You will then need to install this package that we're looking at here on GitHub. So to do that, you will need DevTools installed, and then you just run install GitHub and this line here. One other thing that's not mentioned, but I found that I needed to run, was the OpenAI package. So just in RStudio, go to install packages and find the OpenAI package. I found that I needed that in addition to what is mentioned here on this page. So what can this do? It can do a few different things. It can spell and grammar check. So we just select a piece of code and we just choose spell check. It will do that for us. But more powerful than that, it can write text and it can write code. So just like with the RTutor system, we can specify some fairly basic instructions and it will generate code for us. And the final thing it can do is we can get it to do kind of other things. And so the example here, it can do translation. I have tried translating English to Russian and back again, and seems to do a pretty reasonable job of that. It's probably not the main thing you'll be looking at though. So let's jump over to RStudio and have a look. Okay, so we're here in RStudio. I've just got a template Quarto document up. And if we come up here, add-ins, and we can see that amongst our add-ins, we now have the GPT Studio ones. If you don't see this, then we can come up to Tools, add-ins, browse add-ins, and we can access them there. But for most of you, once you've installed it, you may need to restart RStudio. They should just appear in that add-ins drop-down. Otherwise, we can see them there though. And so if we have a go, got a line where I somehow forgot to spell. Let's see how it does. It just fixes it all up. Worked really nicely. That's nice, handy to have, but really what we want to be able to do is we want to just be able to give instructions. So let's do a histogram of MPG variable from empty cars using ggplot. I would like that to be some R code, please. It takes a second, but we can see there, it's calling library ggplot, which it needs. Empty cars, it's got the correct variable. It's decided to do a bit of coloring. It's a color and fill that we might adjust if we like. It's given it labels, title. So it has just written that code for us. So just like with the RTutor AI, it is making that call, and ChatGPT is pretty scarily good with writing, particularly if we give it clear instructions and we're not getting too fancy with things. It is really good. Similarly, if we wanted to then get it to write a few sentences, we could give it instructions on that as well. That is GPT Studio adding as an add-in into RStudio So now you can just access these tools as you are doing your analysis. It is going to really be such a game changer. And as I mentioned in the RTutor video, really it's going to come close eventually to putting people like me out of a job, where you will just be able to call up the expertise of this AI engine. And despite my 25 years with R, it is going to beat me hands down. So I hope this was helpful. I think you will get a lot of value out of putting GPT Studio. If you have found this helpful, please hit like, subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and I will see you again for more statistics, R, and random stuff.